Greetings, this is Randy the MGC, and I'm back with another video, or should I say audio, regarding the character word toolless, loyalty. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, throw a question. All is welcomed. All right, so let's get into it. But first, I will that you are having a great day or a great dawning or a great night whenever you may be receiving this. Loyalty is a allegiant energy we exude when we are, dedicated to aligning with something for a long-standing amount of time. And I say something rather than someone because it's not just based on an egoic based position, like saying, my friend or my teammate, rather it's based on aligning with, it's based on aligning with the program, Otherwise, ownership of others is likely to create an unhealthy expectation and exchange that comes from, a more narcissistic perspective and can actually push people out of one's life, or out of commitment due to, the inorganic connection both parties have, created and inspired. True loyalty is obtained through cooperative economics, which, includes ordained roles to accomplishing a larger purpose than just our own personal egoic-based benefit. So we retain one's loyalty by, constant flow of reciprocity. Just as, we lose one's loyalty through a lack of constant flow of connection. There's a natural magnetism to those who, can make us better, stronger and faster and smarter. But if we connect based on, commitment to achieving an improved lifestyle, then, we unite with our alikes or, our allies, and this also makes it clear whom is, choosing to unite with you, for their own selfish wants and needs. If one of the committed parties, falters on a lesser of the established moral conduct, there naturally will be a separation. So one can identify, whom is not a ride or die, as they say, by looking at a few things. What do they stand for? Meaning, where is their moral compass? Do they have a dedication to the same program or group that upholds, similar or the same morals? Are they consistent with anything? American society places a value, on being, mated or married because of, their own selfish thought process, and one may rely on, their system of financial security, but there is some benefit to, that thought process if it's coming from a more, righteous standpoint, not just based on exploitation, right? So another good question is, are they honest? Do they tell the truth, or do they practice lying and deceit? Are they mature and accountable to their actions? Are they a team player? Do they care about others, or do they, think only, do they only like look out for themselves? A person whom like constantly tithes, pardon me, shows they have, an awareness, that there is like some type of spiritual reward, of being thoughtful of others, and that can be as deep as, a person just enjoying giving to others, or it could be, on a basis of, this is what I believe in, this is this is what God tells me that I should do, or could be based on religious standpoint, but all of it is morals, some type of moral compass. Are they skilled, and are they resourceful? They may stick around but not be willing and or able to fulfill any real role of impact. So is that really loyalty if they don't offer much but just stick around for the benefits? So that's just that's something else to think about. So some of the key things that kind of like stick out to me, that are like required traits when we talk about loyalty, humility, cooperation, truth, integrity, ambition, vulnerability. Those are just kind of key traits when we're dealing with that character tool. No matter which side of it you're on, those are still traits that both, if you're joining a group or joining an organization, or if you have built some type of organization and you're looking to recruit, both parties should look at things from a perspective that includes considering those traits. So let me give an example. I'll give two examples. One of a more positive example of loyalty, and then one that is not so positive, if you will. Right. So I was waiting in a line, to order some food, and a woman in front of me, she dropped her credit card, unknowingly. Of course, I pick it up and made her aware of it and gave it to her, and of course, she was very thankful. She also explained she was there to pick up some food, after conducting some business with her husband. They just got finished selling some products at a sports event, right? So she decided to gift me some free vouchers to check out some of their products, and this is both a good opportunity for her, of course, to market their business, and also on a personal basis, to show some gratitude towards the kind act of me returning her property to her. And the thought that I had, because I try not to look at things from a consumer basis, but more from a business mindset, as I continue to grow my business and be more business minded. But my thought process was, this is, someone I might consider, doing business with, because for one, of course, they're kind, or she, you know, um, excuse me, she gave off, she made a kind impression, right? And also, she also gave off the impression that they have a certain level of structure, that is like set up to incentivize growth, of their business, so, talking to her a little further, they happen to own 30 plus stores in the area of, in this area, so I can see why, because, they must have a winning strategy, on how they, market and handle business, so that was a good example, of like how to, increase loyalty, from a business standpoint. And, it really stood out to me. Right. So a not so positive experience that I had, in reference to how, to look at, or to judge whether someone will be loyal or not, right? I've had a person, come to me with ideas, it's an associate of mine in which, I just kind of briefly mentioned that I, had a YouTube channel and, kind of like just generally gave, what it is that I speak about, vaguely. And they had ideas of, how they could, use my platform to teach, or how they can come on my platform to teach, right? Now, irregardless of, how many followers I have, or, subscribers, etc., right? I still have some integrity, because, I want to stand for what is right, what's righteous, and not compromise the integrity of what I'm putting out, into the universe, into whomever may receive this, right? So of course, I was curious of, what they would like to talk about, and, why they thought it would, whatever it was of value, and important, to, get out to the public, and they really had no solid answer, right? As you might probably imagine, right? They also had not even like checked out my segments, or, to identify the purpose of, what it is that's being expressed, or even ask me questions of, what's the purpose of, of what it is that I'm doing, So, this really just told me this person had no interest in, adding value to what is being constructed, but is, merely just interested in, their own egoic urge to, say something deep, or be seen as, something, give some type of impression, right? So, they did not prove they had an alignment, with my content, nor do they have a platform or any affiliations with a moral-based group that defines, what they stand for, publicly or privately, that I'm aware of, or that they, mentioned to me, right? So, there would be many openings for, different issues to arise later if I had just, agreed to their requests, without doing my diligence of, asking some pertinent questions and looking further into, the purpose of, why they made the request, So, that's just an example of like, how you can kind of weed out, and see, what is this person's intent, because their intention can automatically, tell you whether or not, it's going to be a positive experience, or, it's going to be, some issues, potential issues, you know what I mean? And so some things to practice would be, no matter if you are, no matter which side you're on, if you're creating a platform or creating a program, or if you're looking to join something that has been created, like a program or platform or group, these are keys, that I will put to you, that I would give to you. Practice being direct and honest, with your intent, and that would save that would save time, energy, possibly money, on both sides, practice being honest with your failures and or your failures, your successes, and or your lack, what you lack. Follow through with your promises. Don't bite off more than you can chew, and especially being like passive aggressive. Usually that leads to passive aggressiveness when you are not being direct, and then you catch feelings later, or you feel like your time or energy or money was wasted, or you waste someone's time, money, or energy, because you didn't follow through, have a thorough plan. So to go in further on that, I would say having a thorough plan, should entail like contracting with the higher aspects of yourself, right? Not have a plan based off of, what you don't want to do, and what you, based on the lower urges, right? Because what that's going to bring you is, low levels of success, if any. It may just bring you turmoil, and, you know what I mean? Versus when you, contract with the higher aspects, of yourself, then, you're led to do what's righteous, You're led to do what's righteous, which is going to always, benefit you, more than, it will, have consequence. And I'm saying long term, right? Doing what's right in the moment. It may, in some cases, you might feel like, oh, well, lying would actually will give me what I want in this moment. But long term, it will bite you. The truth always comes out, right? Truth always comes to light at some point. So at that point, then, you would be on the biting end of that. So, one more, unite with people whom display, similar morals or same, similar or same. If you can unite with a group of persons or with a program that has the same moral compass, excellent, great, as long as it's of high morals and it's not of low morals, right? At least if you're reaching out to, if you're looking, I should say, not reaching out, if you're looking to join with a group, I would say they should have high morals rather than low morals, right? I forget to put that because sometimes, we forget to be naive to, how far, from righteous American society can be, right? Everybody thinks they have a good heart, right? That they will do what's right. But oftentimes we come to a realization that when in that situation, loyalty can fall, it can definitely falter, with many people. You know what I mean? So put that disclosure in there as to high morals rather than just morals of where you're at, because you may not have high morals. You might have very low morals, if any. So I would also say affirm truths, that connect you to, the most truest source, the Most High, and seek out to connect with those persons, whom live in truth. Examine your aspirations, where they root from. Is it to embody the laws of the Most High or your lower nature desires? Read books that inspire, higher vibrational thought pattern. I'm a part of, the Anu community. So we read books like The 14 Keys, Solutions for Dysfunctional Families. Things that are going to elevate our thought process in the way that we maneuver, through life. Dispel negative thoughts with positive actions, like self-love, self-love activities, that'll help to ensure that you internally are equipped with what's needed in those moments when, your righteousness comes into question, and you can remain loyal. Another key thing, practice being discreet. Discretion is one of those, I think discretion is one of those lost arts in today's time, because so many people practice giving it all up on social media, and I won't say giving it all up, but more of portraying what they want people to see or want people to hear versus what's really going on in their life. But if we practice discretion, it doesn't mean just being quiet and not saying anything, but moreover having some type of compass to what should be said and what shouldn't, or when to speak and when not to speak, versus just saying whatever I feel when I feel like saying it, right? That leads to a lot of trouble. That's the kind of that's the catalyst for why there is very little unity here in America, on this soil, because so many people practice they practice indiscretion based on how they feel, and your feelings can get you into a lot of trouble. It can make you say things that you regret, and it can make you do things that you regret, and some things are just you can't come back from. Some things, some levels of disloyalty, when proven or shown, you that's it. You burn that bridge. So, live in light, live in truth, be the truth. All right, so I'll leave that with you. Again, I want to remind you to like, subscribe, send to a friend, send to a relative, family member, comment, give a question, whatever, what have you. All of that is welcomed. And give thanks for listening. Until the next time, enjoy and earn your quickening. Peace.